right, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and write the warm-up behind me so that we can practice a couple of the things that we're going to use for the next 2 or 3 weeks, all right? So our first subject for the next few weeks. What are we doing? We're going to talk about area and surface area. So first, I want you to take 3 2/10 multiplied by 1 5/10. Number 2, 2/3 times 1/4. Okay. Number 3, 8 25/100 times 2 3/10. And number 4, wow, this marker's not great. Let's do 7 8 times 3/4. We're going to be doing a lot of multiplying with decimals and fractions in the next couple of weeks. So I just want to go practice that a little bit. If you're online, can you see all of those numbers? Are we good? All right, I'm going to give you guys about 5-6 minutes. Take your time to be working on the problems, please. Do we have to simplify a number? Yes, simplify your fractions, please. A couple more minutes. A lot of what? 7. Oh. All right. Do we simplify on fractions? Yes, simplify on all of them, please. Okay, about 2 more minutes. Do we need about 1 more minute, or are we ready? I'm ready. Anybody else need a little bit more time? Okay. Let's go ahead and go over these couple of problems. So these two skills, multiplying decimals and multiplying fractions, we're going to use for the next 3 weeks. A lot. Okay? So we want to practice these a lot. We'll probably do warm-ups that have a lot of these in them. So when we start with multiplying decimals, do we have to line up the decimals? No, you do not need to line up your decimals to start. So we're going to take 3 and 2/10 times 1 and 5/10. What is 5 times 2? 10, carry your 1. What's 5 times 3? 15 plus 1 is 16. What do I place right here? Good, your placeholder 0. What's 1 times 2? 2, and 1 times 3? 3. Then we add 0, 8, 4. So my answer is 480? No, why not? We have to move our decimal 1, 2 times. So we start at the end and move it 1, 2 times. So our answer, you can either do 4 and 80 hundredths or just 4 and 8/10. You don't need that extra 0. Both would work, okay? All right. Also, I know that Kaylin is not the only person in the classroom, so some more participation would be nice. And that goes for online too. Feel free to yell out some answers here. All right, number 2, we're multiplying fractions. How do I multiply a fraction? You multiply straight across. We need to multiply straight across. So we have to start with 2 times 1, which is 2. Okay. And then we need to do 3 times 4. 12. Again, Kaylin is not the only person. I will put that money in my desk until the end of the day if you can't put it away. All right. Am I done with this though? We gotta simplify. How do I simplify? What do we do? Why 2 though? Because it goes in the bowl. Good. I thought you said it goes in the bowl. I was like, what? Goes in the bowl. You need to find a number that goes into both 2 and 12. Yoshi, can you put the marker down and at least face me, please? That would be nice. Thank you. So we need to find a number that goes into both. We know that 2 can go into 2 and 2 can go into 12. So we divide it. What is 2 divided by 2? 1. 1. And what is 12 divided by 2? 6. Can I simplify 1/6 anymore? No. Nope. That's our answer. Okay. Good. Number 3, we have a lot of multiplying here, right? Let's get to it. These, we do not need to line up our decimals. It's fine how they're lined up. So let's start with our 3. What's 3 times 5? Thank you, 15. Carry 1. What is 3 times 2? 6 plus 1? 7. 3 times 8? 24. Good. We've done the 3. What about the 2? What do I have to start with? Placeholder 0. What is 2 times 5? 10. Carry 1. What is 2 times 2? 4 plus 1? 5. And what is 2 times 8? 16. Then we need to add. 5 plus 0? 7 plus 0? 4 plus 5? 2 plus 6? And 1. Did you know what I was going to ask? We need to move our decimal, yeah. So our answer is not 18,975. We need to move our decimal, the amount of times there are numbers behind our decimal in our problem. So there are 1, 2, 3 numbers behind our decimal. We need to start at the end and move it 1, 2, 3 times. So our answer here is 18,975 thousandths. Okay, how do you guys do on that one? Good? I'm going to take that as a yes, all right?
I got that one.
Yeah, when you said there was a lot of sevens, I was like, that's it. All right, one more. Multiplying fractions. And again, we need to multiply straight across. What is 7 times 3? 21. What is 4 times 8? 32. And now we need to figure out if we can simplify. Is there a number that goes into a 21 and 32? 3 does not go into 32. 7 doesn't go into 32? Yeah, started a lot there. There's actually nothing that goes into both 21 and 32. So this is as simplified as it goes. So our final answer here is 21 32nds.
I did my math completely wrong.
That's okay. We can't always be correct. Mistakes happen. That's how we learn about things, right? Okay. So we are going to use this concept quite a lot for the next 3 weeks. So keep that in mind. Now, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of notes. They're interactive notes, so you're going to want to be paying attention, typing it out as we go along, please. I'm going to check my attendance really quick. Okay. I think I've got everybody. Charlie, you look like a cloud. Like your head is floating on a cloud. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and present my screen. We do have a new assignment on Google Classroom. Yep. I don't know.
It's up here.
We're going to go ahead and scroll down to math. You should have a new assignment posted called Area Notes Day 1. Okay, so this is the assignment that we're going to go ahead and get opened up. So please go ahead and do that. Area Notes. Now, area is something that you guys have done before. You did it in 5th grade, probably 4th grade too, right? We're going to review area this week and then build on area and do some more complex and harder 6th grade things using area. Okay, so we're going to practice area this week and then make it a little bit harder next week.
Oh, no.
Sound good?
Wait, are we using 3D shapes next week?
In 2 weeks, we'll do 3D shapes. Next week is still 2-dimensional. Okay, so I think we can zoom into not 100. I meant 50. 50 is good. On here it says the area of regular and irregular polygons. We're actually only doing regular polygons for right now. This irregular polygons is next week. We'll talk about what that means next week. We're just going to do basic shapes this week with rectangles, squares, parallelograms today. We're going to learn about triangles and trapezoids tomorrow. And then we're going to put it all together Wednesday, Thursday, test on Friday. Okay? Sound good? So let's go ahead. Well, hang on. Are we all good? You there? Ready for good? taking that as a yes. I can't see Go Guardian from over here, so. Oh, yeah, I can.
Oh, so what has in the chat?
Okay, we look like we're all there. And it wasn't, so you fixed it before I asked you. Okay, let's go ahead and go over this. So, slide number 2 says that our objective is to calculate the area of regular and irregular polygons. Like I said, we're going to do regular this week and irregular next week. Before we continue, what is a polygon? What does that mean?
Shape.
It means shape. Polygon just means find the area of a shape. Well, polygon means shape. We're going to find the area of shapes. Okay? So, slide number 3. What is area? When we think about what an area is, it's the space inside of a shape, not outside. That's the perimeter, right? If you're trying to find, let's say you're building a fence and you're trying to figure out how much fencing you need. If we're building a fence that goes around our area, is that the area or the perimeter?
It's gonna be the perimeter.
Good, the perimeter goes around. So perimeter equals around. The area is the space inside. Is this ringing a bell for you guys?
Yes.
You guys remember this a little bit?
No,
Some of you guys are?
I remember it.
Okay.
I did on Friday.
Good. So the area is the space inside. And there's different ways to find the area. We're going to talk about them. So, on that shape that's on our slide, the blue area is the area of the rectangle. We would do something to find the area of that. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay. Slide number 4. How do we calculate the area of squares, rectangles, and parallelograms? So for these 3 different shapes, how do we find the area? You guys remember how to do this?
You have to find the perimeter.
We don't need the perimeter.
Find the area on all sides.
Well, no, look at the slide. It does tell you.
Slide 4.
Yep, slide 4. It tells you how to find the area of these 3 shapes. What do you do?
Multiplying the shapes length by
Good. I heard the little thingy go off. You're in class. You could have said it. All right. We need to multiply the length of the rectangle or the what is it called? Square or the parallelogram times the width. Okay. So basically, the length is how tall your rectangle is, which is this 3 feet right here. The width is how wide it is, which in this case is 5 feet. So to calculate this, we would multiply 3 times 5. And the area is 15 feet. And then we have this squared at the end. Squared just means it's an area. It's just the units for area squared. Okay? So we just multiply, basically. That's why we practice multiplying. We're going to do a lot of multiplying. Okay? Slide number 5 talks about why we put squared after our area. Okay? When we multiply 3 times 5, we got the answer of 15, right? That means that we could fit 15 1-by-1 squares inside of this shape. Okay? I know those of you online might not be able to see this, but if those of you in person, if you look at the tile over there, the squares that are on the tile are 1-by-1. Okay? Dallin was attempting to show you guys if you look at his screen. So the shapes on, you're literally right next to the tile. You don't need to get up. So the squares on the tile are 1 foot by 1 foot. And if we wanted to find the area of the floor over there, we could count the tiles because it's 1 square foot each. So we could find an area of 15 square feet over there, which would be 3 squares by 5 squares. And the area is 15 squares. Okay? All right, is this making a little bit more sense again? Good. Now we practice. We're going to do a couple together. You'll do a couple on your own. First, we're on slide number 6. This is where you are typing now, so make sure you are following along, typing in our answers. We're not doing a whole ton of like long step-by-step math. Just type in a couple of things. First, it says to calculate the area and then name the shape. First, under the type answer here box, let's name the shape. What shape is that? It's a rectangle. Why? Why is that a rectangle?
Is it not a square?
I mean, yes, it's not a square, but how do we know? You guys are on the right track.
Oh, it has four sides.
Well, so does a square.
Two separate equal sides, length on this side.
Okay, good. When you are trying to figure out if something is a square or a rectangle, a square has sides that are all the same length. So a square has a side of 3, 3, 3, 3. This is a square. All side lengths are the same. Rectangles, because there was a lot of you guys that got this question wrong on one of your tests. You guys mixed up squares and rectangles, and I was like, apparently we need to talk about that again. A rectangle has two different measurements. The sides opposite of each other are the same. The sides on top of each other are the same. This is a rectangle. They're different. They're not the same thing. Gotta keep that in mind. Okay? Because sometimes it'll tell you to find the area of a square and it'll give you only one measurement. And you're like, wait, how do you do that? But how could you figure that out?
You just multiply it all.
Yeah, they're all the same. So you gotta keep that in mind, that the sides of a square are all the same length. Rectangles have two separate measurements. That's what makes this one down here a rectangle. So when it says type answer here, what should we type for the shape of this rectangle? I mean, not a prism. Prisms are 3D.
Prison.
This is not a prison either. This is just a rectangle. Rectangular prisms we'll talk about later. Okay. So this is a rectangle. And we need to find the area.
The area is 20 and nothing.
21.
14. It's 20 inches.
No, you're finding the perimeter. That's the perimeter, not the area.
Oh, well, it's 20 inches.
No, multiply. Yeah. Got it, yeah. So when we find the area of a rectangle, we are doing length times width.
Wait, can I just put the answer in there?
No, because you just said it wrong twice. So now I want you to type something out. When we find the area of this rectangle, what is the length? Slash doesn't matter which one you put first.
No.
It doesn't matter which one you put first. So yeah. So our length here would be 7 inches times our width is 3 inches. What is 7 times 3? 21. And then you got to make sure you put the inches squared. Okay. If you have the ability to actually write it out and you're writing inches squared, you can do 21 inches squared with a little 2 at the top. That's how you'll see it a lot of the time too. It's just very difficult to type that out, so we don't type it. But there's one. Are we finding this super difficult so far?
No.
Just doing a lot of multiplying.
It's simple.
We do end up using a lot of decimals and fractions though, so sit
Can I
tight.
start on the next one?
I mean, you can. I'm going to give you guys a minute to type this one out. I'm going to give you guys time to work on some too. So.
This next one is a skull.
All right, looks like you guys are getting it typed out. All right, let's look at our next one then, since a lot of you guys seem to be done with that. Slide number 7. First, we need to name the shape. Based off of that little mini lesson about shapes that I just gave, what type of shape is this?
Well, yours is still the rectangle, mine's just square.
What are you talking about?
Look at it, it's a rectangle.
It says 6 feet by 6 feet.
No, look at it.
Okay, well, I can't draw it amazingly perfect. So, based on the measurements, what is it? What? It's a square. Thank you. To find the area of a square, what do? The length times the width. Okay, so the area on this one is 6 times 6. What is 6 times 6? 36. This is feet squared on this one. Okay? Lots of multiplying on this. I don't think that will happen.
I wish somebody made that. Like, I would be the first on that. Of course, catapult where it launches you into the air. I would be the first one.
No, thank you. All right.
That'd be so fun.
Hopefully you guys are good on this one.
No, not yet.
Well, you also, we're going to type the same thing over and over and over again. So I feel like
Bungee jump wonder.
also it's just multiply. You can get it typed out.
We should go bungee jumping for
All right.
a field trip.
No. Slide number 8. This one is a little bit different. Oh, you know what it didn't do?
Oh.
Give you guys a measurement right here. Where's the measurement? Okay, what we're going to do, everybody go up to the text box. Add a little text box next to the dotted line. And write 6 feet. Make it bigger.
Wait, can I put it next to the one right there?
It needs to be next to the dotted line.
Doesn't matter what side it's on?
Nope, just next to the dotted line. Okay, sorry, I forgot to put a measurement there. So go ahead and add your own, please. Yes, you have to have it, because if you don't have it, you cannot find the area of the shape. So you need,
The letter size is 78.
as long as you can read it. So make sure you add a measurement there. My bad, I forgot to. Okay, I'm going to erase what's behind me while you guys get that typed out.
What, you said 60?
What does it say up there, dude?
I don't know. Says 6.
Look at that.
60
It's big of an inch.
6 feet for me. Oh.
Okay, so really quick, I need you guys to look at either my screen or up at the board, okay? If I do something on the board, I need you guys to see the difference between this and how to find the area. So, when you're looking at a rectangle, your length and your width are usually in the same spots, right?
Yep.
This is your length, that's how long it is. Your width is kind of how tall it is, okay? When you look at a parallelogram, all you've done is taken your rectangle and slanted it a little bit sideways, correct?
Isn't that called a parallelogram?
That's what I said, a parallelogram. So, when you take your rectangle and you slant it sideways, you get a parallelogram. Your length, wait,
Students and teachers, please excuse the interruption, but there will be outside recess. We will have recess outside today.
No.
okay, let's keep going. Okay, we have things to do, so calm down. So, like I said, when you take this rectangle and you slant it sideways, your length is going to stay the same. However, you need to take into consideration that this length now, or the width, is longer than it was before. So you always need to use from the tippy top to the bottom as your width or your height. Sometimes they call it your height too. Okay? So usually when you see a parallelogram, they'll give you a dotted line that tells you what this length is so that you can use it in your multiplication. Sound good? Okay. So let's go ahead and do this problem. First of all, what is this called? I said it multiple times. Good. To find the area of a parallelogram, what will I do? Multiply what? The length times the width. Which in this case, what's the length of this?
48.
That's the whole area. What's the length? 8 feet. Times, what's the width here? The width is 6 feet. And then when we multiply, what do we get? What will be the area of this? What's the length times the width equal?
48.
48 feet squared. Don't forget the squared part. Okay? So go ahead and get that one typed out, please.
Are we gonna finish the whole slide today?
If we don't, it's okay. We're just gonna do a lot of practice.
Oh, all right.
Okay. We good with that?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna give you about 30 more seconds.
Oh my God, okay, I got a little steamroller. Okay. Wait, are you gonna do fractions too?
Mm-hmm.
3 and 3/4 inches and 1/2 inches?
All right. Let's go ahead and look at slide number 9. Hopefully you guys are keeping up. We're doing all right? Yes, no? All good? All right. Our next one, now all we're going to do is just change it to decimals instead of whole numbers. So does the name of the shape change?
No.
Does how you find the area change? Nope. The only thing that changes is now you got to remember how to multiply with decimals, which is why we warmed up like that. Okay? So let's start by finding the area, the name of this shape. Is this a square, rectangle, or a parallelogram? This one is a rectangle. Good. To find the area, we need to do the length times the width. I don't know why this one is looking weird, but.
That's not army square.
Okay, so to find the area of this, we need to take, what's the length going to be? Does it matter?
No.
Doesn't matter. 5.7 times the width, 8.3. Now,
I need the calculator.
yes, I do care. Don't use a calculator. Now we need to find the area.
I'm gonna do it real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes. Multiply those decimals, please. And tell me, well, don't tell me what you get, but just multiply decimals to start. Okay? Multiply decimals, keep your answer to yourself.
Oh no. I need that last part. Can I do it right now? Yes, no. I didn't do it. Did I do this right now?
I don't even know the answer. I haven't done it. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I know my answer.
Okay, 5 7/10 multiplied by 8 3/10. Okay. Do we want to do it together or just go over the answer?
Go over the answer.
Okay. I don't know the answer.
I do.
What is the answer?
47.31.
47 and 3100.
Use the calculator.
Yeah, I'll do the calculator.
I got it. Okay, Dallin was correct. He got 47 and 3100s, but we are missing a unit of measurement there. What should we put at the end?
Oh, feet.
Not just feet. feet squared. Good. So biggest, yeah. The biggest mistake that I see on this is that you guys just go too quick with your multiplication with decimals, and your decimal ends up in the wrong spot. Or if you're doing multiplication with fractions, you forget to simplify. Those are the main issues with this. It's not that you don't know how to find the area. You guys are really good with the length times the width and the multiplying. It's just that the slowing down the multiplication might be a good idea. Puppies, sound good? Okay, let's look at the next slide. Slide number 10. This one, we need to name the shape. If both sides are equal, 3 and 2, what's it called? Tenths. Both of them are that. What is the shape called? A square. Okay. The area of a square is length times width. Okay. So we need to take the length. In this case, they're both the same. 3 and 2/10 times 3 and 2/10. And I'm going to give you guys about 2 minutes to do that multiplication, please. Okay, take some time, do the multiplication.
Someone guess it? Can anyone guess it? Miss Jones, do you know it?
I did it on my calculator.
Okay. Try to guess it, see if you get it right.
Let's do about. There's a lot of slides on here.
There's 21 of them.
Okay, yeah, we're not going to do all of them. There's a lot of practice there. We're just going to finish the notes part of it. So 2 more slides after this, the one with fractions, and we'll be done. All right, our multiplication here, 3 and 2/10 times 3 and 2/10.
10.24.
10 and 24 hundredths. Do we agree? Did anybody else get that? In this case, down is correct. I think you just missed a carrying a number maybe somewhere. So our answer here is 10/24 hundredths. But what is my units here? Feet what? Feet squared. You do write squared on all of them. It should be squared on all of them. Anytime you find the area of something, it's squared. Okay, good. Okay. Give you about 30 seconds to get that one typed out, and then we will do the fractions part. And then if you want to continue and do all those practice ones, you're more than welcome to. Alrighty. Slide number 11. Area with fractions. First thing we need to do is name that shape. It's like a game show. Name that shape. What is this shape? A rectangle. Thank you. Oh, I spelled it wrong.
Wait, is it inches squared too?
All right, woman.
Oh. Is it inches squared too? Yeah, everything is squared. All right. The unit doesn't matter, it's the squared part that is always squared. How come my lights are only 50? No, that's the charger. Oh, yeah. That's the hammer. Spider-Man. Yeah, wait, I haven't done that one yet. Cause we're being so huh? And I'll be real fast, I'm gonna fast next. Go ahead. The one that's done, and then put this video. Do I have to take it? I'll take it. And what's it? Oh, let's say I'm good. What's six though? Okay. Ow. I'm still going to my chair, I'm gonna undo myself. I'm undoing myself. Okay, I'm gonna. How much will Yoshi to the phone? Alrighty.
Okay, sorry. Let's go ahead and rectangle. To find the area of a rectangle, we need to do the length times the width, which in this case is 1/3 times 1/2. Guys, focus. Okay, let's look behind me and do this one all together, right? 1/3 times 1/2. When you multiply fractions, how do we do this? What do I do?
You multiply across.
Multiply straight across. So what is 1 times 1? 1. What is 3 times 2? 6. Can I simplify 1/6?
You can simplify nothing.
I cannot simplify it. So our final answer here is 1/6. And this is yards. What do I need to add to that? Yards what? Squared. Okay. There's our area with fractions. Okay, we're going to do one more example and then we'll be done for the day. That's okay. Finish typing this one out. Oh no, I messed up. All right. Last one we're going to do. Area with fractions with this last one. We have a shape here. The length is 1 yard and the width is 1 yard. What type of shape is this? A square. Good. How do I find the area of a square? What did I do? Length times width. In this case, what's the length? 1/4. Oops. What's the width? 1/4 again. And then we just need to multiply straight across. 1/4 times 1/4. 1/4 times 1/4. Multiply x straight across the numerators. 1 times 1 is 1. And then we can multiply the denominators. What is 4 times 4? 16. Can I simplify 1/16?
Nope.
Nope. That's as simple as it goes. All done. 1/16. What are my units though? Yards squared. Good. No, don't turn it in because we might go back and do a little bit more practice if we have time on those. No. There is a lot of practice on there. Tons of different things. Squares, so you would name the shape and do the area. Name the shape, do the area. Name the shape, area. You would just do that over and over and over again. But it's really good practice if you want to go back and work on a few of those. I would suggest that we don't have time, or else we would have done a few. But let's see.
What color is Spider-Man? Are you the red Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I'm the.
I watched too much.
I'm a white Spider-Man.
All right. That's 17 questions. I don't want to do 17 questions. We don't have time for that.
Iron Man.
Usually on Monday, usually on Monday, we don't usually do quizzes this week.
Why, guys?
Okay. No, we're just gonna do this one for a little while. It looks pretty good. How do you find the area? Gives you a couple of word problems, but it's all areas of rectangles. How do you find the area of a rectangle? By doing the math, but what math? Multiply what things though? What is it called? Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this quizzes. We'll take a couple minutes.
Not even know you're trying to quizzes.
Yep. Let's go ahead and get logged in. We'll just do a quick one to end class. We probably won't finish it. We'll just play it for like 10 minutes or so. And just kind of get some more practice in at the end, okay? Also, my computer's going to die, so I'm going to move over to my charger while you guys get logged in.
Oh, no. Yeah, well, that's a good one right there. Look. Well, I just saw the photo.
All right.
You dumped that hole in there.
Got about 10 of you guys in.
Where's the stick from? Oh, I see it.
Okay, a couple of you guys just need to finish getting logged in, please. There's the game code. Get logged in. Got about 30 seconds, and then we're going to play just to get a little bit more practice in, okay? What?
Something else.
What's cool about you?
I got that Adonis too. What? I said I got that Adonis too. The Adonis? Yeah, I got the Adonis. I got the Adonis. I got the Aphrodite. Don't even have that.
Gabriel.
No, what Aphrodite?
Finishing up data? Okay. All right, I'm going to turn the volume down quite a bit. Here you go. What? Well, it's just Aphrodite. There's no S. Alrighty. Take your time. Do a little bit of practice. Good luck. Just do some multiplication. Read through the questions. Don't go too quick. Again, that's the issue that you guys seem to have. You go too quick. Read the questions.
Oh, I used my quick saver and I got it wrong on purpose. No, Alex.
That's sad. I said squared like 85 times in this lesson.
Oh my God.
I'm in 4:20. You look good.